Round number one ticket holder, Warren Lilly.
There's only one home of football in Geelong. Live, breathe, K-Rod football.
For Warren Lilly Central, land now selling.
Etihad Stadium on a Sunday afternoon, players making their way into position. We've had the toss of the coin, and it's now time for the Geelong Foot Clinic ground report with Heath Buck.
Yeah, perfect conditions here at Etihad Stadium. Kingy roof closed. The big question will be the crowd. Benny mentioned that 48,000 is the record between these two teams here at the ground. At the moment, there's still a few spare seats, but we have been told it is a sellout, so expecting close to 50,000 here this afternoon. The Bombers won the toss and will kick towards the commentary end in this first quarter, which is right of your radio dial. Cats Fan 20 says the Bombers by 24 points, Tips Guru, Essendon by 10 points, Hoops says a draw, and Donna McCracken, well, she's going for the doggies.
What do you say, Heath Buck, for Geelong Foot Clinic?
Oh, I think Essendon will be too strong. Really like him at the moment. About 28 points, King.
Hey, Lee Brown?
Yeah, I think Western Bulldogs today, I think, yeah, like I said in the pre-game, it's the turning point, and they'll get it done by 12 points.
Benny, for you?
The Dons by 12 points.
And for me, I'm backing Essendon as well by 17 points. We're underway, first quarter, thanks to you where you live. Here's Benny Cass.
So, Bell Chambers, who's been in good form for the Bombers, down to Liberatore, who's dispossessed immediately, holding the ball, free kick to Dyson Heppel, the skipper, wants to go wide and does to Orazio Fantasia. Just like saying that, want to wheel onto his right. Long ball, top of the square, lurking out the back was Hooker. Front and square, Parrish. And the Dons get the first goal inside 25 seconds.
We said it was going to be a quick game, and the first goal hasn't taken any more than 20 seconds there, boys. So, fantastic start for Essendon. We spoke pre-game about the ability of these teams to use the corridor. Western Bulldogs are number 2 in that area for the season, Essendon number 4, but a fantastic long ball in, a great aerial contest from Hooker, who's actually got Cordy as his opponent to start the game, and fantastic front and centre work from Parrish, who's now gone back to the back of the square to run through.
Perfect tackle by Dyson and Liberatore, the skipper from the Bombers, just to set the tone.
Chicken winging.
He did, but pulled him to the side, Benny.
Well, Matt Kelly Plant Farm will bring us the matchups through Lee Brown, and if you hadn't taken your seat and listening to us through FM 88, you missed out on a nice little goal from the young man from the Geelong Falcons, back in the middle, roughhead. Got the handball back from McRae, partially smothered, landed with Dixon, go to handball off. Inside 50, McLean drives to the goal square. Hurley in front of Bontempelli, got a shove. Johannesson thinks he snapped the goal, and so did the Bulldogs cheer squad, but they'll quickly sit down when they realise that there was a free kick for a push by Bontempelli on Hurley, and now that with the snap there's going to be a 50-metre penalty. Although, gee, in that scenario, the umpire's got to show some common sense. Big shove there, Bontempelli. It's well defended by Hurley in the end, Brandon.
Yeah, it was, and that's actually his matchup. So Hurley's gone to Bontempelli, Bagley's gone to Picken in his milestone game, and down the other end, Cordy, Hooker, and Lewis Young on Danaher.
Kick on the bounce to Danaher, right on cue. He swings onto his left, puts it into the path of Zaharakis. Zaharakis wheels onto his right boot. Left half forward, not a great kick. Did nobody any favours other than Zane Cordy, who marks on the chest. Son of Brian, nephew of Graham and Neil, who all played league footy, or throws himself into trouble. Does Cordy, but they get out of trouble through McLean, drives it to the middle. Actually, no, it's McLean marking it from Liberatore. Swings onto his left boot now, McLean, and then picks into space. Dalehouse with the footy, time to have a bounce, deliver low for Picken. Bagley can't spoil. Or rather, McGrath can't spoil, and it's Picken marking 45 from goal. And he kicked 6 last week, so just keeps reinventing himself, Liam Picken.
Absolutely. Confidence is high too, so going back, looks pretty confident with his routine at the moment, and we'll have a shot for about 50, 51.
13 goals, 3 from set shots in season 2017 for Liam Picken from 51. Drives it to the goal line. Won't have the carry, will it? In fact, it'll hit the post. Just carried the pack and has hit the woodwork at the top of the padding. And we've got the orange multicultural flags being waved today as part of multicultural round. Essendon 1 straight 6. The Bulldogs 1 behind. 3 minutes gone, first quarter for Gibby Wheelers.
117 players from multicultural backgrounds in the AFL. That represents 14% of the competition. And Hurley plays on himself and goes wide with a good ball to Stewart. Former Giant been in good form down the line. Good kick too. And just lurking into space was Watson. Sweeps a long hand pass to Heppel. Heppel's going to get caught. Johannesson released the footy out the back. Taken by McLean. That was a good tackle by Johannesson. McLean will want to switch and does, but it didn't have the distance to get to Cloak. Straight to Zaharakis. Zaharakis to Danaher, lurking inside 50. And there it is, Brownie. That switch you play, if it doesn't come off, your defence is caught all over the place. And the kick there from McLean went straight to Zaharakis, who kicked it to Danaher, and he can go back from 45.
Yeah, just not good enough for McLean. Needed a lot more air in that ball. He's kicking to Travis Cloak versus Zaharakis, was it, on the wing. He just needed to give it some more air to get it over the top.
Thanks, Mighty 10. He started well, McLean, but that was a poor kick. He's had 4 touches already.
47 goals on the season for Danaher. He's one of the stars of the competition, signed a big deal to remain a Bomber, but this time he's off target left-hand side minor score. And the Bombers lead by 6 points. 1-1-7. The Western Bulldogs are just one behind. We've gone 4, nearly 5 minutes. Give where you live, K-Rock, first quarter.
Former Hawk Suckling undecided that he shanked the kick. He nearly shanked it onto the chest of Bailey Dale. He couldn't mark it. It's picked up by Zaharakis through traffic. The snap is not bad. It's just across the face and through for a behind. And the margin is 7. They are peppering early here, the Essendon Football Club. And as we expected, under the roof on a Sunday afternoon, we've got a fast one.
We have Suckling again. This time it's a better kick. It's a wonderful kick, in fact. 67 metres onto the breast of Dalhouse. Now, Dalhouse kicks a bit of a wonky sort of Paul Roos thing to pick, and he can't control it. He's got Bagley in his back pocket. Did well, though. Got it to Johannesson, who handballs backwards to Dalhouse. Further backwards to Cordy, and Cordy will go further backwards. So they're controlling the ball, and Young marks just in front of Danaher. He plays on. Goes wide. Kick to Wood, who hasn't had a great season, fair to say, Easton Wood. Goes with a little sort of Phil Mickelson lob wedge over the top to McRae. And McRae marks half-back flank, so they're controlling possession, but they've only gone from one half-back flank to the other, the Dogs. McRae
sends it long towards half-forward, looking for Roughhead. He won't get to the contest, but Bontempelli across the front of Bell Chambers couldn't mark. Bell Chambers tried to fist it towards Hartley, but it's going to come back to Cloak. Cloak gives it off to Dale. Dale's left foot kick is an absolute mung. McLean tried to palm it to his own advantage, but only into the path of Parrish. Slick hands from Parrish, gave it up. Ducked in the tackle was Big Stewart. Ball spills out. It's now with Heppel. Heard the voice out the side. Zaharakis can set him. Zaharakis can goal. Jake Laverde also involved there as well. But just that little handball of Darcy Parrish to get things going for the Bombers as that ball moved forward, and all of a sudden they jump out by 13 points. They're 2-2-14. The Dogs one behind this first quarter, thanks to Give Where You Live.
They've hit the scoreboard with 2 goals too here, Essendon, but it's their defence that's setting it up. They're not allowing the Bulldogs to come back through the corridor. So Essendon setting up extremely well through the middle of the ground, and that's why they're forcing the Western Bulldogs to go backwards and chip around and go sideways. So a fantastic start both offensively and defensively from Essendon.
Thanks, Mighty 10. David Zaharakis has started well. He's had the 4 touches and a couple of inside 50s in his first goal.
Hear the hoots there of the Dogs fans. They feel they were dudded. That should have been a free kick against Stewart for holding the ball. Wasn't. Nonetheless, there's no column for Howe. Bombers get the goal. They'll go forward again through the Irishman McKenna to half forward. Good kick. Well weighted for Stewart, who marks, hits the ground running, wheels and goes. Top of the square. Danaher lurking! Hamlet hanger style Joe Danaher. Top of the square. Bombers will have 3. Inside 7 minutes, they'll get the jump on the Dogs. So Danaher nonchalantly just turns around and kicks the goal. And with a bit of skill, precision, ball movement, well-weighted kicks, Essendon have got 3 on the board, 3-2-20. The Western Bulldogs are 1 behind. That's Give Where You Live, K-Rock first quarter. Lee Brown for Goddings.
You mentioned Easton Wood, Benny, before not having a great year. He's actually gone to ground. He's hobbling a little bit. He's brushed away the physios at this point, but it looks very proppy on his leg at this point in time, so we'll keep an eye on him.
Total tools. We'll keep an eye on Easton Wood, but terrific start to the Bombers. Mentioned Zaharakis. He's now up to 5 disposals. And Darcy Parrish, the boy out of the Geelong area, he's had 4 touches. Stewart started well as well for the Bombers. He's had 3 possessions and 2 marks.
Lee Brown here, of course, for Goddings. Kubota's Platinum Excavator dealer umpire balls it up in the middle. Tapped down by Bell Chambers. Laverde was in there, got a handball up. Myers, quick kick was stolen by Murphy with about 3 metres. Murphy shared with Bontempelli, but gave it to him at about 5 level. So he's fumbled the footy, but he's going to get a free kick as he was taken high. Umpire said play on. Bontempelli drives it. Dullhouse has got free of Gleeson, which stretches and takes a good strong mark in front of the Karoy product. So the youngster from Leopold off by hand to Murphy, confronted by Parrish, tried to take him on, got his kick away, went through the hands of Wallace, should have marked. Back of the pack was Bagley, trying to work his way through Fantasia. Parrish, Zaharakis left it behind. Dixon head over the foot, he couldn't take it. Parrish does now. Slick handball to Zaharakis. Bangs it on the boot, but in front. In front first to move. Tim McGrath style, Benny, is Lewis Young.
Lou would have been aroused by that. He's going to be all right, this kid. Playing his third game. He just plays on. No one stood the mark. He puts it to the top of the square. Pick and flew. Out the back. Ball lurks. Good snap by Wad. Front and square crumb. Dogs get there first. Wasn't all that pretty, but the long ball in. Spillage over the back. And Lucas Webb, just lurking, finds the big sticks for the Dogs for the first time this afternoon. 1-1-7. Essendon 3-2-20. It's a 13-point margin. Give where you live. K-Rock first quarter. We've gone 9 minutes.
Bread and butter for Lucas Webb. That's his strength. Nice and clean at ground level, and a fantastic finisher. So very good on the left peg. But Western Bulldogs just seem to be a little bit fumbly at the moment, boys. Tory Dixon ran over the top of one. Mitch Wallace dropped a mark. There's just a few little fumbles there that they need to iron out, and they'll get themselves back into this game.
Brownie, you coached Lucas Webb at the Gippsland Power. Tell us a little bit about the kid, 21 years old, 187.85.
Yeah, he's not the quickest guy, but he reads the play really well. So he's got an elite left foot, very clean, and a great footy brain. So they've trained him up to be a bit more of a midfielder, but right now he's playing more forward.
Bounce was skew whiff, so we're going to get another one because Tom Bell-Chambers did nobody any favours by just fisting it away 20 metres. But he knew it was going to be recalled. He won the secondary ball up, down to Zaharakis, gave by handed Myers. Myers kicked towards forward 50. Got numbers back here, the Dogs. Through hands, Suckling. Gee, asked a lot his teammate in Dale. It's somehow got it to Bontempelli by foot, and now we've got it with Daniel, true centre half back. Daniel swings onto his left boot. Heard a voice, and it's Hunter who's got the footy at left half back. Lockie Hunter just chips one into space, and Suckling is marked on the multicultural round logo, near side of the ground to Daniel outside of the right boot. Worked out okay. They go inside forward 50. Dixon with an arm chop. No. McKenna took it and ran and then put it into space for Big Stewart.
Stewart, will it sit for him on the wing? City side, it does. He goes inside 50. Good ball. Good kick from Stewart. Finds hooker. Probably just too far out to score. Coming off 5 goals last week against the Roos. Goes into the pocket. Ball lands at the feet of Watson. Has to go back to Collier, who's marked where Hooker kicked the ball from originally, just maybe a little further out. He's probably 60 from home, Collier. He certainly won't have the distance in him, so he just sets it up. Danaher again. Hamlin hanger style over the back. The big mitts went up, and all 203 centimetres of Joe Danaher just over the top. Make that 200 centimetres. I gave him a 3 extra.
Bontempelli complaining, Benny, that he had first hands on that. We're just having a little replay, but clearly a mark to Joey Danaher.
Jeez, he's exciting, Danaher. And this for 49 goals on the season. He's kicked one already, and he gets it. Jeez, his set shot style has come a long way in the last 18 months. He converts there. Kick 2 already, 4-2-26. Essendon get the response. Western Bulldogs 1-1-7. It's frenetic end-to-end footy. Give where you live, K-Rock.
Just that rebound from half-back from Essendon, that quick transfer of play to get it inside forward 50. Stewart's the one, Bucky, who seems to be getting out at the moment. He's the one with the smaller opponent, and he's just outworking him as well. So not great signs from the Western Bulldogs defence at the moment, but fantastic couple of marks from Danaher to start this game.
Already looks like he's playing half forward for Wombat Gully. James Stewart, he's had the 4 touches and 2 marks.
Well, he's so mobile. He's 198 though.
Yeah, he's got looks like he has the former skipper Easton Wood on him at the moment.
Ball up in the middle, tapped down one by Bell-Chambers. Watson went off the ground towards left half forward. Rolling ball just outside 50. The Dogs will get a couple of numbers back. Crashing his way through Laverde. Created a path. Watson trying to get a handball up to Merritt. Handball out the back, Wood. They look to clear here, the Dogs, towards half forward. Front position, McLean. Good fist from behind from the 100 game of Bagley. Handball, though, of Hartley. Did nobody favours for the Dogs. Liberatore. Flick up by Wallace to Murphy, to Daniel, to McLean. On the bounce, it's got McRae.
McRae, low ball, good kick. Presenting with a luscious-looking lead was Marcus Bontempelli, and he has marked 49 out directly in front. So best ball movement of the afternoon, Brownie by the Dogs.
Yeah, just quick hands, just kept finding that free player who turned up to receive, and yeah, nicely lowered the eyes to Bontempelli coming out through the middle of the ground there.
Still only 21 years of age, Marcus Bonampelli, playing his 81st game of AFL football. He'll kick from about 53. He's hit it well, but just trying to get that extra distance. He has pulled it to the right-hand side, just a minor score, 1-8. Essendon 4-2-26. It's an 18-point margin in favour of the red and black. Halfway through this first term, thanks to Give Where You Live. K-Rock first quarter.
McKenna to himself, and then the bounce and a kick towards half-back went through the outstretched arms of Danaher, who's going to get a free kick for a nudge.
Thanks, Mike. 10 King. You're really bleeding in the back half at the moment. The Bombers 6 inside 50s for Essendon to kick 4 goals too.
St. Cordy not happy with the decision. Or Danaher's kick, that's dangerous. It showed a lot to Bailey Dale as Hurley tried to mark. Dale tried to come with the foot. He had it knocked from his grasp. Hartley gives it off by hand to McKenna, and the Irishman wants to take them on. A bounce and then a handball. Some trouble for Collier. Gets out of it. Now McGrath. McGrath gives it off to Hurley. Back edge of the square. Handball to Bagley. Back to McGrath. He ran himself into trouble. He left the footy behind, and then he took pick and high. Ball spill. Johannesson, he's on his non-preferred left. Just pulls it back to the hot spot. Bontempelli couldn't mark, but he found it on the ground. Flicked it out. Dixon ran into an open goal. Oh, what skill from Marcus Bontempelli. Just glided across the front of the pack. Couldn't complete the mark, but his basketball background came to the fore as he just sort of was like a jump ball tap and then recovered it, and then nearly a throw. It wasn't the most convincing of handballs from Bontempelli as we get vision of pick and head over the footy, but a much needed goal for the Dogs to make the margin 12 points.
Yeah, it was, and being able to turn the ball over in their front half is going to be important for the Bulldogs today, but just Essendon, they just overused the ball. It's just that 1 or 2 extra handballs which creates a turnover, and the Bulldogs were able to flick it back inside forward 50 really quickly in a great contest from Bontempelli.
He's only had the 4 touches, Bontempelli, but already looking dangerous on Fags Might at 10, 85 metres gained.
Back in the middle, Danaher having a run in the ruck, and he's given away a free. Dog fans happy with that. Not sure what it was for. Roughhead took it. Half forward. He wants Cloak working against Hartley. Cloak couldn't mark. Ball at ground level. It's the Bombers. Bagley, although the kick from Hurley was chopped off by Dale. Dale flying shot at goal. Was dropped by McGrath. Spills to Bagley, and Bagley from his own defensive goal square goes wide to Zaharakis, who gives to Merritt. Merritt sweeping handball to Tip and Woody. Didn't get to him on the full though. He followed up though. Zaharakis did okay. Flicks it to Heppel. Heppel further to McKenna, and the Dons are out.
McKenna will kick towards half forward to Laverde, seeing a bit of it early. He'll pump it long inside 50. Hooker's got the sit at the back. Well to play by Wood. Did he get a hand on it? As it rolls towards goal, he did. And the touch behind off the hands of Easton Wood, and the Bombers lead by 13, 4-3-27. The Dogs 2-2-14, 16 minutes gone. First quarter, Give Where You Live. Staggers
me under the roof in good conditions why Carl Hooker wouldn't just stick his hands up above his head to mark that ball rather than take him in his chest.
Yeah, you're right. Golden opportunity went begging there. Dogs went to Cloak, but it's going to come back. It's filled to Laverne. Laverne's flying shot at goal. He's off to the left. And just a minor score, but geez, they're opening them up, Brownie. The Bombers, every time they go forward, they look like scoring. 4-4-28. Western Bulldogs 2-2-14.
Yeah, they are, but they're only 14 points in front for all the dominance that they've had. So Bulldogs just hanging in there.
Fags Might at 10, 8 inside 50s, 4 goals for. The Bulldogs have been inside 59 times for 2-2.
Suckling to himself, and then long broadcast side. He brings the footy, looking out there for a marking option. He can't find one. It's off the hands of the pack, and out of bounds for a boundary throw, and just forward to the wing, favouring the Bombers. First term, thanks to Give Where You Live, building a better Geelong. Bill Mithen and the team do a wonderful job. Announced a whole heap of community grants during the week, which was fantastic. Millions of dollars worth going back into the Geelong community. Think about workplace giving as Pickens got the footy at left half back, and he brings it into the middle. Risky ball, but it's okay for Biggs. The former Swans got it. Kick now towards half forward, and there's a searching lead coming out there from Dullhouse. Tried to shrug off Gleeson. Got a handball release. And then Webb did well. Catch and release very quickly. Taken by Dale. Dale into the middle of Etihad Stadium, and stretching and marking is McRae. Wants to swing onto his left boot and does so for Johannesson, who's got clear of Kelly. Haven't called James Kelly's name yet. We've called Jason Johannesson, and he's marked on his chest, 48 out from goal.
The reason why you haven't called him for Fags Might at 10, King, is because James Kelly has yet to have a disposal. He has McDonald, Tip and Woody, who started very quietly. Goddard yet to have a disposal for the Bombers as well. And Johannesson coming up for possession number 2. David Zaharakis is the leading ball winner on the ground with 10 touches after 18 minutes.
Got the 2 Brownlow medal votes when they last met back in round 22 last year. Had 31 touches on that occasion. They would love to kick a goal here and make the margin 8 points. He swings out from 52, gives it a fairly decent ride, and puts it into the front row of the cheer squad. Wonderful kick from Jason Johannesson. Margin is 8 on this multicultural round. A man with a South African background delivers for the Western Bulldogs. 4-4-28 are the Bombers. 3-2-20 rather, the Bulldogs. 18.5 minutes gone first quarter for Fags Mitre 10. Here's Heath Buck.
Well, it's actually total tools. Just keeping an eye on Lucas Webb, who's staying out on the ground but seems to be limping at the moment. So he may be carrying an ankle injury. Kicked the first goal of the game for the Doggies, so we'll keep an eye on him. James
Kelly there, after that mark was taken by Johannesson, gave an absolute mouthful to both Zach Merritt and David Zaharakis. I'm not sure where the breakdown was, but whatever it was, James Kelly wasn't happy with it and was pointing the finger at his midfield. So back in the middle, Bell Chambers up, rough head down, taken by Bonampelli. He was chicken winged by Goddard, and he's going to win a free. So the chicken wing there wins the free. Yeah, Patrick Dangerfield may be suspended for the same tackle. You work it out, we can't. Stewart's mark, 52 from home. Long ball, little land, top of the square, off hands, getting back. Dog defence, defending grimly, and they see it through for a rush behind. 3-2-20 playing 4-5-29. It's end-to-end stuff. 7 goals already in the opening 20 minutes.
9 inside 50s, 9 scoring shots for the Bombers.
Suckling, that left foot sends it long towards right half back. Big fly coming from the pack roughhead. Couldn't mark off the hands of it. Was McRae. Now into Dullhouse. McRae kept running forward to the foot. He took it, stepped through McGrath, and then swept a handball wide to Cloak. Cloak bangs it inside forward 50. Murphy, he'll get a free kick here surely, because Marty Gleeson lost sight of the footy, and all he could then do was grab hold of Bob Murphy, who can go back and have a shot. And don't they love that, Dog fans?
Yeah, they love Murph, don't they? But he played that exceptionally well. He knew what situation he was in. He knew he had Gleeson, and just didn't go at the footy probably 100%, but just knew how to draw the free kick.
Game 308 equals second for most games at Docklands behind Nick Revolt today with 169 alongside Brent Harvey since his ground opened in 2000. From 35, tight angle, right forward pocket, he's left it narrow and through for a behind, and the margin is again 8 points. So missed opportunity there for the Dogs, who are 3-3-21. The Dogs, Dons rather, are 4-5-29. 20.5 minutes gone first quarter. Give where you live scoreboard.
So Hurley with kicking duties. No doubt will be the All-Australian defender.
Fags Mitre 10, Bill.
And he went for Parrish. He's kicked it straight to Dixon. And the only saving grace for Hurley is that Dixon is only 1.5 metres in from the boundary. It's a tough shot, but he's a clinical finisher, Tory Dixon. Been injured for a lot of this year, only playing his 7th game, just kicked the 6 goals, but last year was front and square in the premiership victory. He was solid for them all season. Now he's going to go to Stevie J. He'll take 4 steps, round the corner, and he's kicked the goal. He knew as soon as it left his boot it was home. And the Dogs get back within 2. Dixon's got a couple. 4-3-27, Essendon 4-5-29. Entertaining footy round 19 style here in front of a packed Etihad Stadium crowd. 21 gone. Give where you live, K-Rock, first quarter.
Didn't really have anyone on that 10-metre perimeter there, Benny. Essendon and Dixon just allowed to take an extra couple of steps there to set that one up, but not ideal when you kick it in from full-back and turn the ball over, and that's the normal result that we see.
6 more disposals for the Western Bulldogs, and they've had a couple of more inside 50s. Been pretty efficient going forward. 4 goals through from 11 entries. The Bombers 4-5 from 9 entries. Dale and Dalhouse being good with 6 touches each for the Doggies.
Roughhead climbed high, won the tap down. The ball is coming out towards the broadcast wing, not picked up by Bonampelli. Liberatore, it's knocked forward. Handball outside door. Webb was smart. Hit over the footy. Hunter got one high, surely. That's the way the umpire saw it. So Lockie Hunter with the free kick just forward of the wing. A bit of a tate-a-tate between he and James Kelly. James Kelly does eventually touch the football, but that won't count on the Fags Mitre 10 stat sheet.
Still nothing for Goddard or Tip and Woody. Been quiet. Kelly yet to have a disposal. McGrath just the 1 touch.
Hunter long inside forward, 50 defensive fist comes from Hartley. Front of the pack though is Dullhouse. He couldn't take the footy cleanly. Watson slick hands. McGrath tried to get it out, couldn't. Now it's going to spill to Heppel. McKenna. Here's Goddard. Now it's McKenna. Now McDonald tipping Woody, and he's away, and he can put the ball into space. Hooker, it'll be a foot race between he and Wood. Hooker picks up the footy. Wood brings him down in a wonderful tackle, and then won the ball that spilled free. Snapped the kick towards half back, but but didn't get it to Young. Heppel was there. Goddard fumbled at the inopportune time. Bontempelli to give him some grief. Handball back by Goddard to Heppel. Just outside 50 at right half forward. High ball of Verde. Good fist from Bailey Dale. And brought it to ground. The Dogs have got numbers. They're working hard. McDonald, Tip and Woody. Handball out of the pack. Will find Hunter. He'll bang it to the broadcast wing.
He does. A one-on-one out there working Cloak against Hartley. It's a free kick to Hartley, is it? It's coming back. Cloak just rests. He's not happy with Travis Cloak, the former Magpie. Suggests the umpire, you got it wrong.
They would have spent some time on each other at training, Benny, these two, Hartley and Cloak, when Hartley was at Collingwood.
Okay, so Hartley just chips it over the top to Goddard, who hadn't had a disposal about 2 minutes ago. Probably got about 4 now, has he, Bucky?
Yep.
He goes long, inside forward, 50, big Pat. Wood up in front, takes the mark, surely. Umpire didn't pay it. Essendon player at the back tried to claim the mark. Thought it might have been Woods in front.
Yeah, Danaher brought it down, Benny.
The other one who's stinking it up for the Western Bulldogs, they haven't had a great year, is Tom Liberatore. Yet to have a disposal for Fags Mitre 10.
So, throw up. 25 out, directly in front of Essendon's goal. They've kicked 4 of them. They lead by 2 points. McRae took it. Flicked a hand pass to Dalhouse, who's been busy. He hand passed out to Suckling, who was immediately wrapped up, as was Joe Anderson, by Heppel. And the umpire says he will again throw it up. This time, 45 out from the Bomber goal.
Bulldogs' defence in their back 50 certainly tightened up in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
24 and a half minutes gone. First quarter. Give where you live scoreboard shows Essendon in front by 2 points. Ball up, 40 out from their goal. He's trying to get through Hooker, left the footy behind, clearing kick came from rough headers. He picked up the crumbs, back with the flight. Gleeson wasn't paid the mark, thought he held it long enough. Murphy, an awkward looking handball that bounced for Dixon, for Johannesson. Heard the voice of Lucas Webb from 45. Clinical finish from Webb. Bounces it through with nobody in the goal square. And for the first time this afternoon, the Dogs lead. They've kicked 4 on the bounce to now lead by 4. They trailed by 19 at the 11-minute mark, but goals to Dixon, Johannesson, Dixon again, and now Lucas Webb, who kicks his second of the afternoon, gives them a 4-point advantage. 5-3-33 Essendon, 4-5-29. You would have seen a bit of that, Brownie, in your time.
Yeah, I have, and he's been in really good form at VFL level, you know, regularly in the goal kickers and best players, and it's great to see it starting to transfer at the top level. A great finish, and that is his asset.
Just signalled that ball which way he wanted to go in the air, Lucas Webb. If you watch the replay, he's shuffling the ball with his hand to say get over to the left. It was obviously fading, sort of Craig Barry style, and did so through for a goal. Cloak having a run in the ruck. Not sure that's his go because he palmed it straight to Heppel. Heppel, long ball inside 50. Hooker out the back. Worked his man under the footy, then dropped what he should have taken. Ball at the back, taken by Williams. Wants to go on the outside of the right foot, had no left foot. McDonald, Tip and Woody. Will the ball stay in the field of play? Wallace is there. Tip and Woody applies the tackle. Spills to Myers, to Parrish. Parrish left foot's neat. Good mark, Fantasia. Elevates up. Quick give to Goddard. In turn to Zach Merritt. Zach Merritt round the corner. The snap won't have the penetration and falls 8 metres short into the lap of Williams, and he can repel. Goes to Dale.
Dale over the top to Biggs, who's marked. He's got it out of side, right half back. Biggs just on a 45-degree little kick, and it's with Bailey Williams. Williams with the footy. Shorty goes, just a slow build up here onto the chest of Zane Cordy. Still inside defensive 50. Williams cruised by and received the handball, and then sent a kick long towards the broadcast side that's marked by Wallace. Gave it up by hand to Hunter. Hunter drives a kick to good towards half-forward. It's been a good build-up. Dixon heard the voice out the side door. Dalhouse lowers the eyes for Bontempelli. What a wonderful build-up from the Dogs. So patient with the footy, so precise with their skills, and it ends up with the star Bontempelli to have a shot to make the margin 10 points. Lee Brown for Goddings.
Well, that's what we're used to, isn't it? That's 2016. That's the way they move the ball, speed, work rate to create that extra number and link up. So fantastic work from Bulldogs from halfback.
83% disposal efficiency for the Doggies so far.
He'll kick from right on the sponsor's logo at left half forward, Marcus Bontempelli, but he leaves it to the near side. It's through for a behind. So Marcus Bontempelli with a couple of behinds in this opening quarter, thanks to You Where You Live. A 5-point lead, 5-4 plays 4-5.
Goddard plays on himself. He goes wide, Wood up high, couldn't mark. Out the back, Bontempelli tried to handball to Young. It went out the back to Wallace, who backtracks by hand to Hunter, and Hunter kicks it basically to centre half back from the wing onto the chest of Ronnie Biggs. Now Ronnie Biggs switches to the half back flank. He's got Dale. Murphy working, ignores him. That's a good kick though. He found McRae, well weighted. McRae marks, ripped to ground by Fantasia. Dog fans want 50. Umpire says no. So McRae is forward to the wing. Dinks one over the top. He's got Cloak. Cloak will want to go onto the left. He does. He hoists it close to goal. 2 against 1. Gleeson up. Pickham was good in the contest. Ball spills to Hartley. Hartley was chicken wing. There it is again. Brought to ground. Hope there's no concussion. Heppel out the back. Dinking ball okay. And he's marked by Bell Chambers, who's been relatively quiet. He goes inboard. Kick too high though for Zaharakis.
Yeah, went over his head. They got numbers out the back, the Dogs, but Zaharakis recovered well to pick up the footy. He's wrapped up by Bailey Williams. We'll get a ball up at right half forward.
Who does the shootout suit, Brownie, given that the Dogs have struggled at times this year to kick a score?
Bulldogs. I think the Bulldogs.
Ball up, Bell Chambers the tap, went through the hands of Heppel, taken by McRae, gave it up by hand to Murphy. Murphy swings it back to 40 out from goal. Bontempelli couldn't mark. Good spoil by Hartley. Ball down at ground level. Stewart fighting back down there for the Dons. He's over the ball along with Wallace. Somehow a handball up from Hartley. Gleeson got it to Parrish. Parrish to Bagley. Bagley on the bounce by hand to McDonald. Tip and Woody brings it broadcast side. Puts out in front of Big Stewart, who has taken the mark. Wants to step back inside. Does so successfully. Short ball to Watson. Watson loops a handle over the top. Oh, stolen by Daniel. He could have sent McDonald, Tip and Woody into next week, but instead took the share, and the Dogs have got it back with Hunter.
Hunter to the half forward. Skiller there by Watson might prove costly because Dalhouse is marked. It won't, because the final siren less is related to Malcolm Blight, and he goes the spiral, gets onto it, and just lands sort of 16 metres short, marked by Hartley. So what has been an entertaining first term. The Dogs coughed up an early lead, but at quarter time they lead by 5 points. The Dogs 5-4-34, Essendon 4-5-29. Webb's kicked a couple. Brownie's man from the Gippsland Power. Dixon's got 2. And for the Bombers, Joe Danaher looks dangerous. He has kicked a couple. Quarter time here, Etihad Stadium, round 19. Dogs v Essendon. It's the Dogs by 5. K-Rock, live, breathe football.
Live.
For our number 1 ticket holder, Warren Lilly.
There's only one home of football in Geelong. Live, breathe, K-Rock football.
For Warren Central. Land now selling.